Hello everyone, in this video I'm just gonna explain how we can use a MinIO, which is the object store, which is actually being used in all the Lakehouse based platform like Databricks, Fabric, or if you want to build your own custom data analytics platform with the help of a Lakehouse, then you will always be needing an object storage. Today I'm gonna implement the same with the MinIO, which is pretty much offers the same functionality what AWS S3 offers, what Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 offers, what Google Cloud Storage offers, which are very cheapest storage services provided by the cloud. In the previous video, I have just utilized only the PostgreSQL, where I used a file data wrapper, which actually allow us to access the local file from the server on which Postgres was running, right? But that was not the complete real-time lakehouse implementation. But once we have this MinIO implemented, then it is pretty much same like any other lakehouse based data analytics platform, whether it's a Databricks or a Fabric, right? So let's get into the demo part and try to see how we can achieve that. Just to from the infrastructure perspective, we need MinIO, we need Python, we need PostgreSQL, and for that, as always, I have already created a Docker Compose. Let me just quickly walk you through with the services which we have. The very first one is the Postgres one, which you can see. Then we have a MinIO, right? And then we have this MinIO client through which we are going to generate the bucket. As I mentioned, this is the object storage, pretty much same like AWS S3. If you have worked on AWS S3, you know the concept of the bucket. Then we have this Python ETL, which is actually helping us to create a ETL pipeline, which is extract, transform, and load, right? And that is where, this Python-based ETL will come into the picture. As you can see on my screen, it is going to extract the data from the MinIO with the S3 API. It is going to run some transformation and loading into the PostgreSQL. And then it is going to create a data catalog, basically a metadata, like in what all action we have taken. It's kind of just cataloging all the actions which we have performed so far. It is also giving us the data lineage as well from where we got the data, right? This is a lower level, the flow like MinIO client. We're going to build it. So we are going to use a pandas as a library to just process the data. Then we have PostgreSQL driver through which we are going to make the connection to Postgres, and then we're going to upload the data into the table. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna extract the data from the Postgres table and convert that into the Parquet format. Parquet format is nothing but it's an open source columnar storage format, which is highly performant, right? And it is also used many compression algorithm to just reduce the storage, right? And Parquet format is really very important, concept. If you just read through the Databricks implementation, they use this Parquet format. Top of it, they have a data table concept, which actually provide us a acid transaction, schema evolution, time travel, such kind of stuff. So Parquet format is a very important, concept. If you want, you can just explore on that Parquet format as well. And we're gonna see how we're gonna do that, right? So let's get into the demo part and try to set up the network first. And before we get into that, I just wanted to highlight that whatever I'm explaining in this video, you can just read through my Medium article. You will find all the information which I'm going to cover in this particular video. You will get all the Docker Compose, all the running command which I'm going to use in this particular YouTube video. So you can just get through this entire article to understand and to get a more insight about this particular video content and what exactly we are doing with the MinIO to build a real-time lakehouse architecture, pretty much same like Databricks or Fabric one. Okay, so the very first thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna just make the infrastructure up with the Docker Compose. So it is going to have 4 services for us. So let's quickly get into the, so now we can see MinIO, Postgres, MC, and Python ETL. So MinIO, we can just access on 9001. So we can quickly click on here. So here, if you want to get the password, so we have already set up a password for MinIO here. We have MinIO admin and MinIO 123, right? So let's quickly come here, password, remove this, right? So now we can see, okay. So now we have this lakehouse data, right? This is what we have created. So this is kind of a bucket. If you want, you can just build any bucket, whatever you want. You can simply say uh, one. You can just create that, right? But this data, lakehouse data was created with the help of this MC client, which we have here. You can see it's trying to create this lakehouse data, raw data, process data. That's the reason we are seeing three bucket over here, lakehouse data, process data, raw data, lakehouse data one, which we have created. We can upload any file, whatever we want. Let's assume we want to upload something that we have here. So data model performance, okay. I have created some samples, so we want to upload all of them, we can do that. So we have uploaded into this file, right? So now we can play with this, but this is not what we're gonna do. We are going to utilize a Python ETL pipeline. I put it this in the lakehouse data one, which we have created. So we should not be worried about lakehouse data is completely empty for now, right? So now we have, you know, all the thing is running. Python ETL is also up and running. So the next thing what we gonna do is we are going to just trigger, our ETL pipeline. And I'm gonna, before we get into that, and probably maybe let me just quickly run that first, and then I'll just walk you through the code as well. Right. So these are some CSV files which I have already created. This is in sample data, and I have already mounted that. So you can see the customer, products, and the sales. You can just get all those information from a Medium article. All of that information is there. Then we can run this command simple, which is what it is doing. It is just getting inside the Python ETL, and from there it is running the ETL manager, the same file, which I'm just gonna explain what precisely it is doing. Right. So this is the ETL pipeline basically. So what it does is, it's just have very first thing what it is doing. It is trying to make a MinIO client. So what it is doing, it is trying to get connected to the MinIO, right? And the very first thing it is going to do that we can find out here. We have just end-to-end run complete pipeline. So the very first thing we are just trying to see whether the bucket is exist or not. So we wanted to see whether the lakehouse data, is existing or not. And this is where this function will come into the picture. It is going to use this main client object to just check with this method bucket exists. We are feeding in that and we are checking whether that is existing or not. We can quickly check here if it is done, right? So we can check here. Starting with Lakehouse ETL pipeline. So the very first thing is checking whether the Lakehouse data is exist or not, right? So if we just go back again in our data pipeline, let's quickly see what is the next thing it is doing. It is doing a create external table metadata. What does it mean? It is just trying to create this external metadata table in our Postgres so that it can just create all the data catalog, right? Okay, so from which bucket, what file actually being just imported onto the Postgres. Where this is where we are going to do our data warehouse. So it's kind of a data catalog or data lineage, whatever you want to call it, right? So the next thing is we can quickly check. Okay, MinIO catalog table is created. The next thing is it should be like, just getting the data from the uh, upload the data to the CSV. So what we are doing, these are some sample files. As I mentioned, it is lying in the sample data, product CSV, sales CSV, customer CSV. Then we are just iterating through, right? The location and the file name where we want. So this is the local, location where these files are lying and where we want to put. First, we want to put it inside the raw folder on our lakehouse data. Right. So what we are doing here is we are just checking a local path and the MinIO path where it is going to be generated. So in the lakehouse data, we're going to see the raw folder. Inside that, we're going to have the products.csv, sales.csv, and the customer.csv. Then the next thing is, so this is where this method will come into the picture, upload CSV. We can quickly. So we can go here. Okay, so we can see all these methods. You will just get all the code as I mentioned in the Medium article. Here again, it is using the same object, an fput object, which is a method which requires bucket name, object name, and a local file path name, and then it is going to upload that CSV to the main array. The next thing what it is doing here is, if you just see now we wanted to create a table. So basically we want to load the data to the warehouse. So now what we are doing, again, we are just consuming the data from the MinIO rather than directly accessing from the local file server, which we have done in the previous video. So products warehouse, sales warehouse, customer warehouse. So this is what the table name which we are going to do. Right. So now here we are seeing load data frame to the Postgres. Right. So basically, if I just wanted to go here, this is again a method. Load data frame. So we can quickly come here and you can see it is, first making a connection to the DB, opening up the cursor and executing a drop table. If that table exists or not, then it is just trying to map, the data type from the data frame to the Postgres data type. And then it is creating a table. So, but the good part here is it is actually generating, the create table statement with the help of whatever the, data frame column name is. So that is completely generic. So we are not dependent on, any predefined create table statement, whatever the column name our CSV is having, it is going to create that. So it's very straightforward logic, and once that is done, right? So then it's load the data to the Postgres and register MinIO object. So this is where actually, the cataloging is happening. So this is the register MinIO object. So we are just having this table MinIO data table where, we can see this, and that once this already runs, so I can quickly verify on the Postgres as well. Right. So this is done. And the last thing is object name this and write Parquet file to MinIO. And then again, we are just writing back Parquet format to the MinIO, which is actually what happens in Databricks and Fabric. If you have any working experience, you just take the data as is, and then you just, with the help of a PySpark, you just converted that into the Parquet format and put it in a tables folder. And that is what we are doing here, right? So first it is extracting a data from the CSV and transforming with the help of a pandas data frame. And then it is loading the data to the PostgreSQL table, and then it is creating a catalog, right? Since we have already done this, so now everything looks good. We can quickly verify, created a data catalog table, uploaded all the files. So let's start with the MinIO first, and let's see whether in the Lakehouse data we have the raw folder or not. So in raw folder, we can see we have a CSV, product CSV, sales CSV, right? The other folder is the processed, and now we have these three Parquet files, right? So on MinIO side, everything looks good. Now we have to just verify on a PostgreSQL, Postgres database. So now what I'm going to do, so let's quickly copy. Okay. So all these commands which I'm using, so you don't have to worry about all these commands you can find in my Medium article as well. Okay. So I'm just going here. Okay, so now we can see we have three data warehouse, customer warehouse, product warehouse, sales warehouse, and that is what this Python code is supposed to do, right? And this is where it's creating all those tables basically. So it's loading the data, registering in a MinIO object. And then we have this MinIO catalog table. Let's see what entry we have. So it's saying, okay, from which bucket and which file. So under the Lakehouse bucket, Lakehouse data bucket, we have this row folder, then we have this product CSV. So then at what's the size, at last modified thing, and metadata, whatever the metadata information, if you want to add, you can also add that and create it. So this is what you can do for metadata, for generating a metadata. In real time, you have to have a data catalog as well. Right, so you can just create a complete data lineages and metadata. You can also provide the information like in which table, in which schema you have put it that. You can create the metadata based on whatever the information you want to put based on your requirement. You can create a JSON object for the metadata and put that information so that this particular one table will provide entire data lineages, and that can also help you to do a data governance as well. You can add some more information whatever the customer is looking for. So this part looks good. Now we can quickly just see the customer warehouse table. See, so we have those 4 records from the customer table. Okay, we can quickly just verify. We have these 4 entries, same with the products. Okay. So now we have this data. So now this is how, the real-time, Lakehouse data architecture works. When you use Databricks and Fabric, you don't have to worry about writing this Python code, which I have written, which is doing ETL. So there are, you have, UI-based, no code-based, setup where you just create the data pipelines. You don't have to write this code. All you need to do is to make the different connections, get the data, run some transformation, and you don't have to worry about. But the intention for this videos is to just get the each and every nitty-gritty, what happens behind the scene when you use Databricks or Fabric, or you build your own custom data analytics platform over the Lakehouse architecture. What happens, how it actually stores the data, what's the purpose of having a raw data, why do we need a Parquet format. Parquet format is very performant storage for semi-structured and structured large volume data, because it stores the data into the columnar fashion rather than the entire thing, right? And so that's pretty much it from my side. Now you can see, if you have any unstructured, semi-structured data, you can build your own Lakehouse kind of a solution. You can just create the Parquet file as well, right? So this is pretty much it from my side, and this is a very high level, walkthrough. If you really want to understand, we have a warehouse table, we create a data catalog, analytics tables. If you want, I have some, sample, queries as well. If you want, you can do that straight away. So okay, so there are some more important, thing I'm trying to establish. That is not yet done, but definitely I can do that. You can watch my previous video to create some analytics table as well if you want, because there also we are using this customers product and the sales table. Let me just quickly find that for you. Almost it should be here. Something set up. Right, so we have this, so we can create these, tables if you want. And then we have this sales lake, right? So basically it's taking a data. So rather than a sales lake, you can use a sales warehouse here. Okay, so and pretty much same thing, right? So this is how, I mean, if you just follow along the previous video, all you need is get those queries and replace the table name, because earlier I was using the sales lake and the product lake, which are foreign tables. But now we have the actual tables, which are ETL is creating. So you can replace the name with, the products warehouse and the sales warehouse. Just check whether the column is the same or not. If not, then you can just replace that. Probably it should be the same, right? Because I'm trying to just have as much as consistency possible. So that's it from my side for this particular video. If you need any help just to set up, if you find any issue, or if you want me to just cover some more advanced topic on this, just put that into the comment section, and I would love to help you on that. And I will try to keep adding more and more advanced topic in my upcoming videos. I'm also trying to just explore what all extra thing I need to just cover through these videos and my Medium article, right? But this Medium article is actually explaining each and everything whatever I have explained so far through the YouTube video. It is having all the commands which I have used. Okay, so you can just go through with this, try to set up and try to play with this. And don't if you in my opinion, if you really like this video, give a thumbs up, press the notification bell as well, so that whenever the next version or the next part will be available, you will get notified accordingly. And as always, thanks for watching this, and keep learning new things, stay healthy, and be curious as much as possible.